Welcome back to the Oxfordshire. Before we return to the final round of the WPT Championship, the Tour's latest champion has been talking to Kit Alexander from Today's Golfer.
Daniel, you'd already had 3 top 10s this season. Did you feel the win was coming?
I definitely felt my game was in good enough shape to win. You know, I went out there focusing on my own game, not really focusing on winning, just playing each shot as it came really, and you know, I managed to get the job done.
And you've been in contention a few times earlier in the season. What did you learn from those experiences?
I learned to deal with the pressure well. You know, it's hard the first few times, especially in front of the cameras, to try and ignore them, but just get on with your game really.
And it was a pretty stunning 63 in the final round, 29 on the back 9. What were your emotions out on the course?
I didn't really think about how many under par I was. I knew where I was on the leaderboard, but trying not to think about how many under I was, you know, it kept me just focusing on one shot at a time. Rolled in a few putts towards the end, which was nice, and managed to get the job done well.
And here at the Oxfordshire, you've made the cut 2 under. What are the hopes for the final round?
I see a low score out there tomorrow. The wind's picking up now, which is it's always a good sign if you finish, but just go and enjoy tomorrow. You know, I'm quite a lot of shots off the lead now, so I can enjoy it and see what I can shoot.
And having shot such a fantastic final round last week, what advice would you give to the guys that will be in contention going into the back 9 tomorrow?
Just try and stick to your own game. You know, there's a lot of pressure. Try and deal with it the best way you can.
Thanks very much, Daniel, and good luck tomorrow. Another final round 63 at the Oxfordshire will certainly send you up the leaderboard.
Yeah, unfortunately for Daniel, not quite the way it worked out. He's a 3 under par, 3 to play, and just 1 under for the day. But it's been a pretty good couple of weeks for him, hasn't it? Who's going to be the one to emerge victorious, though, here this afternoon? Paul Grinnell's on the par 3 4th. Right at it.
Been playing very difficult, that par 3. Second hardest this week.
Yeah, we saw Stiggy Hodgson play a wonderful tee shot there. He's moved on a hole.
Yes,
very nicely played from the man who played in the last 2 Walker Cups, 2009, 2011.
Connor Fletcher. It's a par putt, unfortunately. And as soon as they're on the move, you know it's been missed.
Had such a wonderful front 9 on day 1. Shot 30, and that was with missed birdie chances from 5 and 10 feet, so could have easily broken 30.
Grinnell with a very good stroke. Thought he'd missed it, and then it just sort of snuck in the old left-hand side.
Well, he moves to 9 under par. Of course, Walgar's made that brilliant start, so he's still 5 back. Hodgson really can't afford to miss these. It would be a good up and down. So he's going to slip back, playing alongside Buxton to 7 under. Oh, disappointing. His putts on the last couple of greens now. Don't see too many of those, do you?
Well, you only see 2 of them.
A Lancaster bomber flying overhead on this wonderful Oxfordshire course.
Tim Dyke's second shot on the 5th. It's only a short par 4 up the hill, slight dogleg to the right.
Yeah, it's been a solid start from the likes of Dykes, but no one at the moment has been able to keep pace with George Walgar. Did par the 3rd after those opening 2 birdies.
Middle of the green on this difficult 4th. Sensible shot there.
Yeah, as said, when you're on a roll, the game just seems easier. I mean, did you have times like that, Ross, in your career when you went out and the chest was all pumped out?
Well, obviously, you know, when you're playing well, you see a shot and you play it. You don't react to bad shots. Just looking at these 2 swings again on this par 3, you can see water everywhere. Club face comes inside a little bit for Harold, but it then gets it up to a very solid position at the top. You'll see the difference in the height of the arms there between the 2 players. So the taller Harold will come on a much steeper downward attack, whereas Woolgar will sweep the ball off from a lower action. But both very good positions. Club face, lovely and neutral.
Dykes from Wrexham. Runner-up finisher a couple of years ago at the Players Club, as close as he's come to winning on the EuroPro. Good putt. Oh, what a putt. What a bonus that is. Second birdie of the day. Wow. Good two-putt it was from there, and he made it in one.
He must have been watching John Morgan's piece. Got that club stuck in the grass. You could see there was no flow.
Awkward little stance here for Grinnell coming out of the bunker.
He did very well. He was right on the edge of the sand, was still in the grass. You could see there was no sand came up at all.
Well, he made a big putt at the first, not quite as big as this one though.
Good pace. Oh my word.
Well, he had that long injury break, and it's not always easy, is it, to pick up where you left off. Of course, he won last season and then had to spend almost a year out. But boy, has he come back to some form.
It says 232 yards. It is from the very back. They're not playing all the way back. It's no more than about a 6-iron today, downwind.
Well done. Stays within 2. Only been a pro just over a year, William Harold. One of those who played collegiate golf out in America.
Grinnell for his par.
Everyone on the EuroPro does it a different way. Here's a man who had to fund his game in the early days by working on the railways in the winter months, and ended up becoming a PGA qualified pro. There's no set route, is there, Ross?
No, what it is you've just got to have a good game, and you've got to be patient, and you've got to work very hard.
And you've got to have ambition. Now, Woolgar said a few weeks ago before he won the Sweet Spot Classic that his goal was to finish the season as #1 on the EuroPro Tour. Well, if he wins here, he will be at #1. He certainly will be playing shots like that.
Yeah, great approach. Like I say, this is a shortish par 4, just an iron, maybe a 3-wood down the left-hand side. Then you've got a semi-blind shot up the hill, over the bunkers. And anything past the flag will leave quite a quick downhill putt.
2 par 3s in 3 holes. You can see it's a little breezy out there today. Sweet sounding strike, wasn't it? Excellent.
That's why it stops so quickly down breeze when you strike it that well, when you compress the ball. Little chip and run for Dykes. Eddie Birchenough used to say, it's not a chip and run, it's a chip that runs.
Not quite the result he was looking for. Harold, he's rolled in a couple of really good putts today, one for birdie, one for par, to try and halve his deficit. Well, he had to be careful with it. It was a little slick, that putt.
For birdie 2 on 6. This is the 5th hardest hole this week. The par 3s have really played difficult. The 4th has been stroke index 2. This 6th, stroke index 5. And the 14th, which you'll see later, that was the hardest hole all week.
Woolgar for 3rd birdie of the day. Just doesn't look to be any stopping him. I know it's the early stages, but he has sent out a message to the chasers, hasn't he?
It's amazing, really. The last few weeks we've seen the leaders sort of backing up and then other players having a chance, but here we're seeing the leaders move away. Big difference.
And it becomes dispiriting. The players here know what's going on as well. And Woolgar right now seems very much on top of his game. It's all about maintaining that concentration, not getting ahead of yourself.
Started this down the right. Now there's a big gully to be avoided, and he has just about done that.
Need a bit of luck as well, don't you?
He's had it there. This looks like it's fairly much at it. Yeah, half a club too much.
Well, 3 shots the lead right now. Here's our first look at Payne at the closing hole. He's been going great guns today, Greg Payne. He's just birdied 15, 16 and 17. And if you can roll that in, that will be 2 bogey-free days in a row around this course. That's very impressive.
That's very top-class golf round here. That's another pitch that really hasn't got running at the hole.
Now, come on, Greg. I hope I haven't put the curse on him. This to finish in some style with a par putt here at 18. Well done. Well, what an excellent round of golf that is, and that sends him right in the top 10. A round of 65 from the former England international, and that should be his 4th top 10 of a very impressive rookie season.
See how much he enjoyed that.
But it's always nice, isn't it? Keep those bogeys away, and never mind once, but twice. He has got his eye in today, hasn't he?
Well, he looks threatening on the greens, doesn't he? He looks like he's going to hole everything. The confidence of the young man. 3-shot lead over his playing partner, who has this for a par. And like you say, Richard, he's holed a few of these, but it's crucial to stay within 3. No.
Well, it's all falling into George Woolgar's hands now, isn't it? They'll be shortly off to the 8th, and John's been taking a look at that one.
We're at the almighty signature hole, the 8th. It is 606 yards, par 5. Can you Adam and Eve it? Water on the left off the tee, bunker to the right. I mean, look at this expanse of water as well. I mean, you've got layup point on the left-hand side as well. So you can't get to the green in 2. You're going to hit a long iron, lay up there, and it gives you a good angle into that green. Either you go down the right-hand side and lay up, but you're left with a hard 3rd shot coming into a very slopey green, bunkers at the back, obviously water lurking at the front. Now I've crunched my drive right down the left-hand side, a bit off a little bit more than I could chew, but I got away with it. Now I'm going to tackle a 3-wood, try and reach the green. Let's give it a pop. Middle of the dance floor, that's all I need. Now baby, turn a little bit, turn a little bit. Have you got the legs? Oh, and I think he's got on by the skin of his teeth. Thank you very much.
Nicely done. Follow that, Tim Dykes.
Well, he would do if he was on the fairway and a lot further up, so he's just going to lay up down the left-hand side, as John was saying.
It is a... Oh, my goodness. I don't know if he has made it. That is touch and go.
There's a bunker there as well, so he may have found that.
Woolgar will be off to fun and games in a moment at 8, but first, another fairway found at 7.
A long par 4 this, 467 yards. Second shot played quite a bit downhill with about a 4-iron, and that's right in the middle of the green.
He looks so in control, doesn't he? Fairways, greens, putts that are looking like they're going to drop.
Well, Dykes was okay, was dry. It's made the green in 3.
Hodgson's reached the final hole of the front 9 here. One birdie, 1 bogey so far. Very
steep green there, almost 3 layers.
What about this 18th then, Ross?
Yeah, it's a very strong par 4 up the hill towards the clubhouse. Plenty of fairway on the right-hand side, big bunker to be avoided. But then your second shot is steeply uphill with, well, usually into the prevailing wind with about a 4 iron or so. Very narrow at the front, steep sloping green. And depending on where the flag is, it means it could be a tough hole.
Well, we've seen a 65 already from Greg Payne. Sebi Garcia, also if he could finish with a par, will match that. Spaniard, born in Bedford, but has mainly lived in Mallorca, got a English mum, Spanish dad. Once shot a 58 at the Spanish Professional Golf Championships. Not quite matching that score today, but not too far off.
Well, if he'd walked in with 3 holes to go, he might have had that.
Yeah. Not often you break 60.
I've never broken 60. Apart from a par 3 course.
Long birdie putt here for William Harrell. One of those again where you're really looking to put 2 putt, but you never know.
Not a good putt, that's a great putt.
Very, very good.
He's not done anything wrong, has he? Apart from that par 3, just overshot the green a little and failed to get up and down, but not done too much wrong. But he finds himself now, after being 1 behind a long way behind George Walger. A chance maybe for the leader to stretch that advantage.
Slow uphill putt. Again, it looks like he had a good chance.
Well, at the moment, it's a chase for second place, it seems, that Dykes is in, because Walgar's stretching away, but that is not going to help his cause. Now, Garcia. Well, I mentioned 65. This for a 64, of course.
That was the final green when I'd shot my course record of 66, and then 10 minutes later El Gato came in and rolled a 50-footer in to beat my course record.
El Gato being?
Romero.
Eduardo Romero, of course, yeah.
And I don't mean the cake. End over end, good strike. He hit that putt exactly where it aimed. Can you see how that run along that line?
Look how it's gone on, though. And we mentioned, John was talking about the size of these greens, and these putts are really important. Walgar's done so well. We've seen Harold putt really well from this kind of distance, and that's a pretty good effort as well. Talked about the dustbin lid, that kind of 2 foot, 3 foot circumference around the hole. You're looking to get it inside. Well, no bogeys so far today for Garcia. Oh, well, there's one. What a disappointing end from the Spaniard. Played well on the Challenge Tour at the Scottish Hydro Challenge this year as well. Finished 6th there. Had a very good season on the EuroPro Tour without winning. And despite that drop shot at the last, that's a pretty good day. Very good effort. 66, 9 under. He'll be nicely placed at the end of the day. But no one better placed than George Walgar. 4 shots clear now after 7 holes of this final round. Is there any stopping the man from Derbyshire in his search for his 2nd EuroPro Tour win of the season?
True or false? If you touch the sand in a bunker on your backswing, there is no penalty. Find out the answer after the break.